we'll just shoot the poop, as they say. We'll hang out.
See, your little one had a lot of energy there.
She's ready to face the day. I hope that I have the same energy. I got to go put about 40 miles on a bike in and try and get some life into the legs, and then Saturday begins. All right, this is the beginning of the final moments. We've got we're just collecting everybody together. We've had a fun period here. Like good hackathon attendees and participants, we actually took a break. There's one thing you learn when you're doing these hackathons, and I've been to a bunch of different kinds of ones. I've been to some that were like super, obviously like strong development focused. I've been at company ones where we've had teams that literally just burn right through. They go for the entire, 12, 24, 48 hours. It's incredible to see what you can get done. And that was, in a sense, I don't like supporting that when you're trying to get people to get involved and creating an inclusivity opportunity, because then people think like, number one, I don't know that I can, code, or I can't necessarily be a part of the team, and so I don't think that I can stay up for 24 straight hours because I'm not necessarily able to do whatever. And so it's kind of funny trying to create hackathons where people just feel like they can hang out. That's really more like, that's my speed. So when I actually organized the most recent hackathon for work, all of the teams did various levels of work for it. And then what ended up happening was my group, we actually created a mobile app. And so I had somebody else, I had somebody from like product management, I had somebody from the development team, someone from the QA team, myself, I had somebody else who's our designer from the marketing team. We had the most, like anybody that would say like, this doesn't look like they're a hackathon team. And I said, well, that's right, because we're a product team. We're a group of people who all have different eyes to bring to the project. So when we did the original pitch, we pitched it to each other at the start. And that was the thing. They said, okay, I've got an idea for a mobile app. Another fellow in the group had a similar idea. And I said, okay, you tell me what you want to see. And so he did his, and he whiteboarded it out to like get the team pitch. And I said, okay, cool. Turned the whiteboard around and said, all right, this is my idea for it. And then we kind of collectively said, what do you think is the right thing based on what we believe we can accomplish? And we ended up merging kind of the two ideas together. So that really told me what the value for me was when we came to the final presentation of the actual working product. It was partially working. Some of it was screenshots, some of it was mock-ups, but most of it worked. We actually demoed it live on an actual Android phone, and because you can download a version without having to go through the Play Store. So we did this whole thing, and the one thing that I brought up was said, our team is not only are we culturally and representative diverse, because we had literally every single person was from a different country. And at the end, I said, we also are all from different teams. There were only two people that actually worked day to day on the same team. And everybody at the start of the thing said, whatever you do, don't build a mobile app, or don't build, like, there's like a handful of things that people are like, you're not going to win a hackathon by doing this. Well, we won we didn't win the grand prize, but we won there was 3 prizes out of like 15 teams. So thinking that you're not necessarily able to contribute, or not necessarily having an idea that's going to be valuable, we just got to shake that out of people, because it's actually not true. And in fact, the best thing you can do is come with an open and honest eye, right? And just say like, I'm a consumer of technology. This is something that would be interesting to me. And then you kind of find people that can say, okay, I agree, and then let's see if we can build it. So that's my word of advice as I look at people that want to get involved in hackathons. It's definitely, it's not all about the code. It's clearly, that's a huge thing, and it's fun. We did a ton of stuff, so we are good. Alrighty, I'm just gonna I gotta go here. I'm gonna add Joe. Hopefully I do this right. Add person. And then we are gonna roll.
So I hope, as we're coming down to the final hours, Eric, I hope folks that have been watching have gotten a sense of how the sausage is made, if you will, behind the scenes, where there's some, there's some high energy, then there's some lulls in the in the development as folks kind of find their way and what they're committed to doing, etc. So I hope this gave folks a little peek behind the curtain on how, in this case, a little unique that it's an online hackathon, but give folks a little idea of what's sort of involved in putting together a hackathon and being involved in a hackathon.
And if you look at what we did, we chose a pretty high bar because in a way we really wanted to, make sure that people that were going to sort of jump in, they had a sense that they really wanted to be involved. And it's at the same time, it's kind of weird. Like, I felt bad. I wish we could have done a really short form one, could have had a big bunch of teams. It's really challenging to organize all that stuff. So this was a chance for us to say, okay, if we can do this and we can run all sort of long form hackathon, if we like shrink it down, then we can probably get more people involved. People will be able to see this. They understand what it's comprised of. We'll be in better shape. And this will be one of many future ways that we can bring hackathons more inclusively to this community and to other folks and bring them into the community. So we are going to get... yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead, Eric. I'll let you finish.
I was going to say, then what we'll do before we get farther with the presentation, we'll get everybody to introduce themselves as well, just so we've got it all on record so that... people will say, like, man, these folks are crazy, and then we'll tell you exactly who these crazy people are. Go ahead, Angelo. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, no, cool. So Angelo Luciani on Twitter at Angelo Luciani and blog at virtuize.com. Just very quickly, I wanted just to add to giving folks behind the curtains view of hackathons. I think what you'll see as we sort of wind down, what you'll see is we didn't actually, and I think this is fair to say, we didn't actually build out a complete application, correct?
Right.
We got to the point where we built out a component of something that we plan on building onto later. So just keep that in mind when you're going through hackathons. It's not necessarily always about finishing a complete polished product. So
like
I'll let
what they always say is, what do you call the person with the lowest passing score in medical school? Doctor. Right. It doesn't always have to be fireworks, right? We got this. So all right, Joe, Al, if you want to introduce yourself to the folks, just to make sure they all can know where to find you online.
Hello, good morning. I'm Al Rashid. You can find me on Twitter at Al_Rashid, RASHEED.
And Joe, I see Joe without a hat. It really threw me off this morning.
So I hear. Morning, y'all. I'm Joe Hughes. You'll find me on Twitter at jhughes, JHOUGHES.
Alrighty, and I am Eric Wright. I'm at Disco Posse on Twitter. I blog at discoposse.com. Also, the part of the body and brain behind rapidmatter.io, which we've proudly started to actually use as a good format to tackle a problem today. So we have been spending over the course of 24 hours time amongst this team, building, designing, thinking, really deciding what we can get done in a period of time, what we can't get done. So we're going to walk you through. Angelo is going to lead us out. He's going to give us a presentation to give you the pitch. So this is going to be basically about a 10-minute format. This is how we typically do it at a hackathon. So what we'll do is it's basically keyboards down. Everybody takes some time, builds out their presentation. We're going to do a really quick one. We've already introduced the team, so I wanted to kind of save time on that. We're going to talk about why we did what we did, and then I'm going to give you a quick demo of what the actual product looks like, and then we're going to talk about what's up next too, and kind of what we've been doing to get prepared for VMworld and some other things. So with that, we are live and ready. We got folks watching. Angelo, you want to lead us through? Welcome to Team Bus One. Let's do it.
Thanks, Eric. So before I begin, I just want to give folks a sense give some context around these slides. And some of the viewers mentioned that I use my hands a lot, wave my hands a lot. So I'm going to try to keep them on the table this time as much as I can. But regardless, what the goal of these slides is really to highlight some pain points, the whys, and then how we plan, what we think the issue is or the problem, and then how we plan on tackling that problem. And in our case, we believe there's a better way of connecting mentees and mentors together where they can both grow. And one of the things we're looking to do as our mission statement, if you will, is we know that, or one of the problem statements is, we know that IT professionals are looking for more and better mentoring than they're already getting. There's some reports out there that more than 75% of professionals want to have a mentor, but only 37 have one. And there's a variety of reasons for that, but we find that one of the main reasons is not getting connected with someone that really matches your values, your interests, and your skill set, and what you're looking to get accomplished through mentoring. Because it's more than just mentoring someone on a particular skill set. You know, oh, how do I learn? How do I get better at AWS or something? We believe there's more involved in selecting a mentor and getting matched up with someone. So, and I guess I say that right here. Rather than mentoring for a skill, we need to balance interests, values, and skill sets all together, looking at it at a more holistic approach. And we believe we need a system that will find a mentor who's an ideal match to propel and accelerate your success. Usually when you connect with a mentor, there's a period of time where you're sort of getting to know one another. The mentor's spending time finding out how they can really connect with you, and we believe we have a system that can help accelerate that. So Rapid Matter Mentoring is an AI-powered, and I know AI is an all-encompassing word, but it's an AI-powered platform that will match you with a mentor based on a holistic approach for the greatest impact possible on your development. Our system is based on algorithms that will select mentors who match values and interests and skill sets and who are best suited or best compatible with you, we believe. And this is going beyond just seeing a list of names and saying, that, you know, that name appeals to me. I'll ping this person to be a mentor. We believe there's a lot more involved in it, and our system can help match up folks. Here's a screenshot, a very simple screenshot, an early screenshot of what we put together over the course of the hackathon. I think, like I mentioned earlier, we didn't put together a complete product or complete application, but rather we worked on one specific area of the app that we'll demo for you. And simplicity is one of the key principles for us, and we wanted to make this as easy as possible and let the system do all the work. So we believe it's basically complete your profile, click find a mentor, the AI goes to work and will connect you with a personalized mentor that we believe matches your values, skill set, and interests. And with that, I'm gonna let Eric demo the capabilities that we built over this hackathon.
Alrighty, let's see if I can actually get this screen share working. Alright, if you want to unshare your screen, I think, or if I do mine, it actually just takes it over. Okay, does it show up on? Okay, so I'm actually going to do.
So I believe I unshared it.
Okay. So if you want to double check, just make sure. Different because I'm presenting all of us. Can you just double check the stream, Angelo? Make sure that it's showing up?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep, you got. Oh,
It takes the joys of a slight delay. We're good. We're just at the 5-minute mark. We got enough time.
Yep, we're good.
Alrighty, thank you, Angelo. Thank you to everybody. This is pretty cool. So what we wanted to do was we needed to build a very simple way in which, number one, we could algorithmically match people up against other people based on skills and interest, as Angelo mentioned. So what I did is I crafted together a very simple. This is a Ruby on Rails app. It's using the Devise and OmniAuth plugins in order to authenticate. So I actually have an option. We could sign in with LinkedIn. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to log in just with an email account. So hopefully I remember the password that I set here because I did this yesterday. All right, cool. I actually survived. Cool. Okay. So what we do is we logged in, as Angela mentioned. We've got a very simple build right now. I'm seeing even some administrative portions right now. So we have the ability to go in. You can update your profile. Just make sure in this case I've only got it set for just username and updating your password. Then the next part of the profile we would do is being able to go through and say we've got a set of skills that are going to be in here. So these have been pre-packaged, so we can go ahead and we could add a new skill if we wanted. We could say machine learning. It creates a skill. We could say hackathon, organizing. We create it as a skill. So what it does is it creates a bunch of these skills. And then we go here. This goes into the My Skills section. And then under My Skills, what it is now we go and we can actually choose one of the skills that was from the list, select it, choose what proficiency we've got. So let's just say I'm intermediate at hackathon organizing. I got a long way to go, as folks can tell by how this has gone. I've been doing this for 5 years, I think. So I create this, we call it a user skill because it's a skill that I have. So this is, again, very basic framework so that I can go in, I can populate stuff with proficiency. Now, this is where the hand waving begins a bit. This was more meant to, like, generally how people will update it. We can have it through like questionnaires and surveys in order to like bring pop-ups, so people would say like, hey, we noticed that you like this. Do you like this? There's lots of ways you can basically incent people to share more information about themselves to make their matches better. Effectively, it's like a dating app. And then we say, find my match. So what I do is I go and based on a number of things now, I'll zoom in a bit. You're seeing a bit more than you normally would because I left some kind of system-based stuff here, just as some of this stuff is gobbledygook. But this is the name that it pulls up. So here's me. Here's the set of skills that I had listed. This is effectively just a hash array of what that is, so that when it passes it into the algorithm, it's using this hash. So if I go through, and what I did was this, again, I'll show you quickly. This goes out. This actually goes to an external AI algorithm platform called Algorithmia. It uses a combination of algorithms. First, it passes us through what they call a dating algorithm, where it matches our criteria. And then what it does is, based on that, it's going to go through and it's going to pull together information. And so what it did here, I just realized, that's why the demo went south. The demo went south. Alrighty. Where did I have that here? Aha. See, the demo broke. Because what I did was, late last night decided to try and fix it. Didn't fix it. So, let's see if this works. Okay. Let's try this again here. Okay, there we go. So what it did was it takes me, and this is again just pure JSON output. This is my inputs. These are the skills that I'm seeking. This is who I ended up getting matched with. So I'm going to quickly take you in. This is who it was. So this is just, right now it's pre-packaged JSON. So this would pull it from the live system. So I've got some great folks that I want to highlight from the community. Number one was Renee Vandenbedum. He's VCDX133. So there's skills that we have that are matched that Renee has. We also have Timothy Patterson, former Virtual Design Master winner. He's strong on AWS. We've got Lior Kamrat, also a former Virtual Design Master judge. We've got Katerina Wagnerova, another Virtual Design Master winner. And Byron Schaller, another participant, judge, and a VCDX. So great people. That's the demo. I hit my 5-minute mark. We hit 10. So we have effectively done it. What we will do going forward, of course, is we'll continue to build this application. All of the code for this is actually stored on GitHub. So if you go to github.com/VDM challenge, I think I'll just make sure I give the hub.com
or
Virtual Design Master.
Yeah. So and Eric, folks can sign up for the newsletter, which will have links to all the resources as well.
So let me just unshare my screen. Okay. Oh. Did I unshare my screen? There we go. Okay. You can't. Weird. Aha! All right, cool. I was trying to figure. Sorry, it was still broadcasting me sharing my screen through Ecamm. So we did it. We did something pretty cool. So that was a working match. Again, it's not 100% there, but you can see that we've created a proof of concept. What I do love, this team did a ton of great stuff. So Joe Hughes, if you folks don't already know him, spend some time checking out what he does, being a great contributor. Also dove in hardcore, did algorithmic work. Angelo did the same thing. We all jumped in. Al has been helping us out with presentations, prep, keeping us happy. And again, another person to watch. He'll be at VMworld at Tech Field Day. He'll be at VMworld in general. All of us that are in this group here are going to be at VMworld. And in fact, what we'll do is on Monday, when we get all of the logistics from the VMworld's official hackathon, we will put out the blog post and announcements that will tell how you can join this team. So I'm going to be leading a team at the hackathon in VMworld in San Francisco on Monday night. So definitely anyone's welcome. Al, you can talk about what was your experience like last year when we went through that together?
I thought it was great. It's great meeting new people, getting their ideas and their thoughts together, and collaborating as one, and coming, producing something at the end that meets the requirements needed for the hackathon.
And then, Joe, you were at the hackathon at VMworld last year. You're going to go again this year. What was it like last year?
Last year was fun. We had an idea that never came to fruition. We ran into infrastructure issues very early on, but actually there were a lot of people that got way more exposure to the idea and the plan based on us having problems and actually having to try and do some live troubleshooting than everybody would have necessarily seen if they were just doing their own little bits of code or just working on interface and presentation and stuff. So we learned a lot. We had a lot of fun. We had an impromptu Plex Ops conversation at the table. But yeah, the end result was not quite as fantastic as this one was.
But the wild thing, like you said, is, and I made a note of it at the events. I said, like, if anybody doesn't realize why we do hackathons, like this team, I believe, did one of the most amazing things because they figured some hard stuff out. And it's like, even though we don't necessarily get it done, right? We get it done. Like there was some hardcore learning. We met great people, and all of us got a chance to learn. I had the same thing. We didn't necessarily get to a final thing. We couldn't even present because we couldn't get the HDMI working for the presentations. So we were literally like holding the laptop, facing the audience, pointing at the presentation screen. But it was a blast. And anybody that's watched what we've gone through here, literally we've got hours of video. You don't necessarily go through. I'm going to try and pick out some of the highlights and share some of the stuff for the future blog as well. But we really wanted to show you behind the scenes that there's a lot of slow times, there's a lot of staring at the screen, there's a lot of really tricky handoffs. And if you're organizing a hackathon team, part of the challenge is it's like you're pulling together people you've maybe never even worked with before, or sometimes never even met before. And so you've got to think as a team leader, what can I do and where will I bump into bottlenecks? And we found a couple over the course of the last 24 hours where it was like, okay, I've got a bottleneck, I've got to get something done, and because I'm doing that, I can't publish a working web app to share for everybody else to try out. So I couldn't do user testing. I was unfortunately the only person able to do the initial testing. And just getting it set up, as Joe will attest, like even if I hand off the code, telling someone just go to GitHub and download the code, you're still in for a few hours of setup. Like I had a sense of what I needed to get done, and it took me an hour to build the first web server. So if you're going into the hackathon, be prepared. There's going to be quiet time, but that's the time where you just sit around the table, and the people that aren't working on something, start researching, do bug fixing, do troubleshooting. There's tons of stuff we can do as a group. In the shorter format, it's a lot harder because you're moving fast, and so when you slow down, that time is like you're staring at your watch going, we have 3 hours to code, and I've been sitting here for 20 minutes. That's a big percentage of time, but don't worry. Just being there and being a part of it is what the experience is about. So we are here, Team Bus One, we call it. We are Team Virtual Design Master. We have created an AI people matching platform, which will go on. So day 2, we will continue. I'm going to keep developing based on this. Credit will be duly given to all the folks here who've helped to make this happen. I couldn't have done it without everybody here. If I tried to do this on my own, I'd have been 3 weeks into here and there development. So put your ideas together. Come to VMworld. Be ready. We're going to have pitches that are going to go. We will all be there on various days, but at the very least, I think everybody gets in at the latest on Sunday. The hackathon is Monday night. Watch the VMworld and the VMware Code, I think, is the one that's actually tweeting out about the hackathon. Watch my handle. I'll publish about it as well. If you're coming to VMworld and you dig coffee, go to my blog and sign up for the coffee exchange. We do a whole bean coffee exchange. Just bring a couple of pounds of beans from your local roaster, swap them out with people from literally around the world. We have so far, I think, 38 pounds of beans that are going to be in the pool. So come in and enjoy. And it's going to be great. So thank you to everybody for making this work. Thanks to Ecamm Live. We're going to be making use of this platform. We're also going to be live streaming from VMworld. I don't know if we're legally allowed to do that, but we're going to do it anyway. So sign your waivers, kids, because we're going to put your images on the internet. We're going to try and do the same kind of thing to really make the experience so it's inclusive, even if you can't make it to the event or you aren't at the actual table. We want to record the experience. We'll bring a couple of webcams, fire them up, and it's going to be a blast. So Joe, Angelo, Al, everybody watching, thank you very much for being a part of this. We've got some sort of prize packs. I'm going to bring them to VMworld. So Joe, Al, I've got some gift packs for both of you. I want to say a huge thanks for what you did to be a part of this. It's something that we're looking forward to doing in the future. And Joe, you talked about trying to do some of this stuff in future as well. You're looking to test this at maybe VMugs or alternatives. Do you want to quickly talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have quite a few of the VMUG leaders that are really interested in trying to take forward the ideas that have come up, where the Pittsburgh group, particularly through some sponsorship and care and feeding from Ariel Sanchez, have started their Little Hack series. So they've actually had some breakouts, and they've even taken it a little bit away from being directly tied to VMUG. They've just got local people that are just technologists that are wanting to work on things and get some ideas going. And we're kind of trying to do the same thing. And like I said, we've had multiple VMUG chapters that have had interest in us trying to kind of put together a I guess, a little bit of a framework for them to make it easier for everybody to get started. So we have at least some basics to hand over to the guys that are going to be the mentors or the hack captains, I guess, to try and get the stuff going.
Nice. Well, definitely, as you've got me, you've got our team here. We'll help you to build out that framework and contribute whatever we can, because if one person gets better as a result of what we do, then we all get better. Yep. I truly believe that this is. I always say my hope and goal is to have a meaningful impact on somebody in some way every day. And the beauty part is when we do some of these things, that can continue without us having to be present, and that's the goal. So what we'll do is I'm actually trying to build kind of software methods. We can build a playbook on how to do this in short form. So Joe, let's work on that one, and maybe it was through our experience at VMworld. Let's kind of jot down what we do, the toolkit, and let's build out the playbook, and maybe we can kind of start to use that as a baseline to bring back to the greater organization. I think that would be fun. I'm happy to do whatever I can to help to contribute to the cause.
Fantastic. Thanks.
All right, guys, with that, we're going to get on with our Saturdays. Thank you to everybody for watching. It's been a pleasure to make this happen and be a part of it. Like I said, go to github.com/virtual design master. You'll be able to see that. Go to virtualdesignmaster.io. Sign up for the newsletter. You'll hear about all the things we're doing in future. You'll see what we're going to do at VMworld. I'm going to go. Luckily, we did get some sleep, so it wasn't a completely sleepless night, but definitely, we all are going to have some tired eyes today. Thank you, and we will see you all in San Francisco in a couple of weeks.
All right. Awesome.